What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of 4 Dummies, and tonight I am joined with the other 3 dummies. I have Mr. Robert Detoff.
Hello.
Mr. Jisk1.
Yo, what's happening?
And Mrs. Skullface.
Hello.
And tonight we are going to continue with the collection critique. And next month, I think we're going to come back with a hot take on Transformers 1, but that's next month, so let's focus on this month. This month, we're going to do another collection critique, and you know the routine, check your feelings at the door. But if you want the uncut conversation of this, where you get to hear a little behind-the-scenes footage of future plans for Patreon, and whether or not they'll be successful, you can feel free to tune in. That being said, we are going to continue on, and we're going to start with our first introductory contestant, which is Todd W. And this unit is in a closet.
Oh, I feel a real kinship with this fella. Brilliant use of closet space, my man.
So it definitely has closet vibes. There is a little thing that I find charming, and that is that as you walk into the closet, it has the Autobot Decepticon and the Matrix of Leadership right there on the left bookcase. And I don't know what that is, but something about that feels good to me.
Yeah, it's almost retro, or like it falls back good.
Nostalgic in some way. And
nostalgic, thank you, that's the word.
Yeah, it captivates something, and I only say that because I don't have a whole lot of kind words to say about this collection, but I want to...
The lunchbox balances that visual out as you enter the space.
I just like that you walk in and there's just a chair in there, like he just goes in there and just sits in this closet and it's just sad. It's just sad.
Right, it's like a waiting room chair.
Yeah, it's like just a weird chair.
But I do want to say this. These figures are not laid out poorly.
Boxes are.
This is my take, my hot take from this really is it like you
I like little scenes.
Yeah, you do know how to lay out a shelf. You just need the space. And whatever's going on in your life and your circumstances, that's all fair, of course. But the good news is once you get into a space that will allow you to display this stuff in some sort of meaningful way, you do know how to lay the figures out at least, which is part of the problem that we run into a lot here.
You got utility shelves.
And, yeah.
Well, he's got some wall shelves too, isn't he? He's done the foam rocks for you and just
No, it's foam stone.
Foam stone.
Are these Legends figures, Robert, or what are these? What are these?
Well, those are Legends with the. I know that the Titans have Legends.
You know,
and Titan shelf.
And a lot of these figures on these things need posing, like they're just too stoic and locked in. But the placement is right. Like I can
pose.
Yeah, I can see all the figures. Like I can see where they're supposed to be. Like they're laid out correctly. You just need to pose them properly.
Pose your stoic bros on the foam stone.
The rest of this stuff, man, it's just really hard. And like some of this stuff, I'm like kind of like, okay, so you have this arc, right? And you bought these little figures to go in front of the arc. So like I'm trying, Ringo. I'm trying real hard to be the shepherd. But I can't help but think, why do you own these little figures in front of the arc instead of putting that money towards something else that could better your display space?
Yeah, and you have boxes up there, and then I don't see why you're going to have a giant yellow arc, and then behind it is a gigantic yellow bumblebee. Anybody? I mean, it's just it really messes it up visually. The whole presentation of the arc is screwed up by this Unicron-sized bumblebee.
Do you think he's painted these though? Like with the metallic paint and stuff. I'm wondering if he's
possibly.
I think he's maybe painted the one.
But it's purely because he's trying to fit all of this stuff into one thing.
Yeah,
I think it's quite possible, and there's a hobby element to that that's cool.
Yeah,
but I don't think his collection benefits from those little miniatures.
You could just put your Legends there, Bubba.
You know, I think his collection would benefit from an entirely new space, and I get that space may not be available to you, but perhaps instead of accumulating more things, you start putting the money towards something that could change the dynamics of where you display this stuff.
Disappointed that you didn't send any photos with the lights on. I see you got all these LEDs.
I know. I was going to say the same thing. Some LEDs and some puck lights.
Anyway, that's my hot take. All right.
Dutch. I think that's the X9 Dutch who's dead.
Moving on to the next person. This is Jaiden F. This is very clean, but then until it's not. Like, why wouldn't you dress up these bookshelves?
And like the fish tank thing. Like, man, this thing's a mess.
Ooh, the rug. Oh, the more you look at it, the worse it gets.
Oh, I like
the
the
laundry pile.
You got
the dirty laundry pile on the left, balanced out by the clean laundry on the futage.
I don't mind the rug.
This is an apartment, right? This is just this dude's living room?
I don't know his living conditions other than what you see here.
He's got a box with a box on it.
It's fine. It's a mess.
It's a mess.
2 boxes. The more you look, the worse it gets.
It's a mess. Like, this is just your daily living, and it's a nightmare. Like, you...
It's one of those things. It looks good at first, but Robert's right. As you look closer, it starts to fall apart. Even like the detofs. At first, I was like, "Oh, you got the white detofs, like the white baseboard." It all kind of works out. But then, as you look at the detofs, it's like, no, same mistakes. Little figures, not enough vertical space. The wires are all visible.
Need to be organized for sure. Yeah.
I love how he's displaying his display stands as display items.
You got this thing in the middle where you have your Titans, but then above that, you have this empty fish tank that has I don't know, it's empty, and then you have bookshelves that are all a mess. I mean, like you didn't care enough when it counted.
It's a work in progress, maybe.
You got all these books on economics, but you probably need some books on home decor.
The joy of cleaning. Rodimus's sled is just hanging out. Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same stuff. There's nothing really here to kind of point out. It's not like you've got like anything interesting character-wise or figure-wise. We can point out the messes that you got. Like, yeah, I don't know, man.
To be fair, like it is primed, so to speak, for something good. It's just not seen through.
Yeah, white bookcases, and then spread your books around. Do what Bobby does, and mix your other things up at the bots.
No, we got it.
If you're a person that sends in this type of photo with like your laundry and it's dirty, you just for me it just says that you don't really care, and maybe you do, but I don't know. You didn't care enough to at least tidy it up before you send a photo out to the world.
First impressions.
You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah.
I got nothing for you at that point.
Does this guy pod? Does this guy pod? He's got a mic set up.
Maybe it's his gaming chair.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, same DTOF issues as usual.
Next.
Yeah, next. I'm sorry. It's just that you don't have it, buddy. Like,
you got a nice room. Your room looks nice.
You have a good space. I like the carpet. The furniture's okay, but you need
nice lighting.
Yeah. It's just.
I think it's fair to say clean it up and resubmit. We'll see in a couple years.
Chewed up.
Yeah. This is Mike L. So that first picture, this isn't anything incredible, but I do like those shelves where he's got the figures in front and he's got the comics in the back. None of the figures are too crowded.
They aren't gonna.
Not really. Like
I don't think it looks bad.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. It needs lights.
Yeah.
I do think, and the books. I think just if you could tidy up the books on the bottom, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I like this setup. I like the figures on the bookshelf mixed in with the books. Like Bobby, your office is, I think, a better version of this, or just maybe executed better. But it looks cool. I think it looks cool.
Yeah,
the Star Wars shelves look good too. I like that for some reason.
I'm trying to.
You know, Mike L.
Yeah,
Mike L. The fond of the L. He does lots of L.
He does lots of L's. Yeah, but the Star Wars shelves are kind of like they're less books and stuff, but their figures, they're clean, they're laid out. I think that some of these would benefit from some of these kind of like, and I'll say this, but I have them too. But there are these lights from Amazon that are like $60 for a pack of 6 just to light them. Especially like I look at some of these smaller shelves at the top of the Star Wars shelf.
You got room for art? You got room for art, Bob?
Yeah, I would say so.
I was looking at the art and I didn't see any DMH stuff. I didn't see any Moss Toys stuff.
This room actually would benefit. These L's would benefit from art in the background.
He's got a pretty good Princess Leia piece of art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the curtains, dude. Listen, Brogna, your curtains are too short, and you need 2 more panels. You can't have curtains that go halfway down the wall like that. It looks really wonky. And then look at that bar. You need 4 panels for that long bar, and they need to be 30% longer. They need to be just like a couple inches off the floor. That looks weird.
Right. Yeah, I know. I have more to say just about the actual room space than I do like all the shelves look fine.
Yeah,
they look good.
The shelves look fine. The shelves look good, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, it's just a matter of lights. And I think the fact that he went all L-shaped does add to the charm of it. Like they are all, like I think that helps in some weird way that I wouldn't have predicted.
So I hope. Sorry,
I would say I would do something with the negative space above the Thanos and the whole cluster.
No, there's a lot of negative space across all the L's that need more love.
Art, man, throw in some art.
Yeah, but like I also like look at he's got a full size stormtrooper.
Another one.
Like he's got.
That's what I thought the other guy had. This is the real thing. The other guy just had the sticker.
Yeah, he's got the real stormtrooper sitting up in there. If he should get together with that other guy, get a stormtrooper next to that Darth Vader.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah, I don't hate this. You have a wide variety of collectibles. You got Turtles, Transformers, comic stuff, Game of Thrones, Jurassic Park, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future. Like, it's all random, and somehow that makes it work.
But yeah, I like that you got the figures with the physical media works. Like, it's cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I like, but I can't handle these pictures on the column, the frames.
With Darth Maul
I get
and stuff.
I get the like eclectic sort of feel of it, but at the same time, I don't.
My only thing is, I think it's possible that he drew these.
Well, I'm fine with the art.
Oh, okay.
I just don't like it's like some of the frames are bigger than the column.
Yeah. The Ahsoka one specifically, I feel like.
And the other ones, so the bottom two are the same size as the column, which you can't.
Yeah.
You can't do that. So,
Yeah, that's fair.
well, I shouldn't say you can't. You can do whatever you want.
But I think it is possible, just as a tip of the hat to him, that he did all of these and then had the actors sign them.
Is that a normal thing where like you draw the work and you have them sign it and then you just still keep the work? You don't give it to that person?
I would say I've seen it more and more recently.
Right, yeah. Me too. I thought it was more...
Shout out to Marilyn Phil.
I thought that was specifically for lady cosplayers, but I guess for everybody.
You never know. I like the little floating shells with like the comics behind them and like the characters in front of them making the same pose in some places as the comic. Like there's a lot of really thoughtful stuff here. This stuff just needs to be lit with a little bit more wall ornaments, and I think you're good.
Let's get lit, bro.
Get lit. All right, our last submission of the night is from Adam F. So he did not provide a full space picture. Well, he did, but it's really hard to make it out. You just get this one sort of down the hallway look, which doesn't really allow you to really understand the space, really. But I will say this, it's very dramatic lighting.
Yeah, I like this green lighting.
But I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I like lighting.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Ooh, very interesting. I like this lighting. I don't know.
Like a lot of the stuff is underlit.
Why is the handle so tall on that door? Like, look where the doorknob is.
Why is there a
it
doily
so
on
high?
the floor?
You got people locked in there. Like,
No,
dude, if you see it, why is it so high?
I'm afraid to look in that
crazy.
closet, man.
It is crazy.
I'm
Yeah.
afraid to look in that closet.
I don't know. I don't necessarily care for the lighting.
So I just don't care for the overall space.
Yeah, it's the space.
I feel like if we had these things, and I don't know if this is fabric in these cabinets, that looks like it's a little wrinkly. And,
it's too random. And then
The furniture's all random.
I want to talk about these little like white cubes where you have a lot of stuff. They're too tight. You've got everybody doing the excuse me, pardon me to fit in there. You've chosen the biggest bots possible that you have in your entire collection to put in there, and as a result, it looks crammed.
But I understand the issue with displaying Unicron. I have yet to display my Unicron, right? Because I would only display him in planet mode because I don't like how it looks in a robot, and I think it's more imposing as a planet. Be that as it may, I'm not displaying it, so I'm an idiot. But I don't think this is the way to go. Like, I think Unicron should be displayed on a plinth.
I just don't understand where this Unicron sits in relation to the room, because if you look at it,
it's across from the green.
It's on the other side. So if you look at the space with all the movie bots, the Unicron is on the opposite side of the room.
That's a mirror, though.
Displaying in a mirror.
Yeah,
but that's kind of cool.
Whoa!
Yeah, it
have
gives
a
you that
mirror behind
perspective.
it?
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. So
you'd see
look,
the dude
zoom
standing
in.
front of
Look.
the Unicron.
Oh, you're right. I see it. I see what you're talking about.
If you zoom
Robert,
if you zoom into Rodimus, he's got a hot rod holding a matrix and a Rodimus behind him holding the matrix, and that's up against the back of the mirror. And then the mirror itself is showing Unicron on the opposite side of the room.
Right, and it's the movie
that's
cover.
kind of cool.
But if you look at Wheelie, you can see the reflection of Wheelie. That also shows that it's a mirror.
Right. I love that. That's genius.
Yeah, it's kind of
But
cool.
you're never going to see that. I think. I don't think you're ever going to see that.
It is clever, but it's not worth what's going on.
No, it's not worth the sacrifice, but it is an interesting idea, and it is an interesting kind of problem solving approach.
No, you would only ever see Unicron if you like bear walk by the dresser.
Yeah, you'd have to look to look into the mirror. So every time you
squat down and look up every time.
Yeah, I mean, or you see yourself in it. But like, I think that's an interesting idea. Like, we've never seen anything like that, and
It's clever.
That's a clever approach to solving the problem.
Nor will we see it ever again.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't think we'll never see it again because it's bad. I think we'll never see it again because it's kind of risky.
I'm still stuck on this high doorknob though, man. So his kids don't get in there. What are you either keeping somebody out?
It is strange. It's strange.
What's up with this chair? Why does it have like it's all taped up where somebody broke off the corner of it? Look at this. The doorknob's too high and the chair is too short.
That's a tiny chair.
What the hell is happening in this room?
He's got a bunch of stuff on this little table too, which I'm not sure what any of that is. I can't make it out.
Hard to see what it is.
That's his purple and black collection.
I think it's an odd space. I think you're doing your best within the space, but I think you might be best if you just kind of got rid of all the furniture and started over with something a little bit more uniformed.
Yeah. Whatever this room is, it clearly serves no function. So that furniture you don't need. Maybe you like each piece.
Well, it could be spillover. Like you see these huge white cabinets. Like they might need to store stuff in there. He might just be trying to do the best that he can within that space. I think like this one's rough for me because it's not right, but I do feel like he's trying his best given the kind of cards he was dealt.
And these lights, like on that little table with the red lights, like all the cords are hanging down from the lights in front of the table. I think that
once again, dramatic.
If you're looking at some of the individual things where all you can see is the shelf, then it can look good. So if we can find some way to make this space feel more cohesive, and
I agree. When you isolate the things, they kind of work, but when you see them all together, it doesn't.
It's a little too mismatched.
That I think is the hot take. So you have these isolated spaces that look good, but you need to make the whole space look good together.
High doorknobs.
Good. Little chairs. Treadmill.
How about a cow?